I'm Jeff Schwartz at Schwartz Performance. This is our April update. I bet you're wondering why I'm sitting in this really nice, comfortable Recaro seat. Well, we're actually the newest Chicagoland Recaro dealer, one of only two in the whole region. So if you need a real high quality seat, give us a call. We're still working on this S10 project. We've done a lot of rework of the inner fender apron here on the cab for tire clearance so it doesn't rub when you're full turning. We've got the master cylinders all mounted permanently, and we're working on a roll cage. This one is just getting a 6-point roll bar in it. The ride height of this truck is going to be quite low, so in order to get clearance for the tire to move up and down during suspension travel, well, we had to trim this portion of the fender out, and we're going to have to fabricate a new inner fender panel to allow a clearance for the tires to move up and down. We've got the 650 horse LS7 mounted in this 55 Chevy. These engines are dry sump engines, so we have the dry sump tank being modified to mount on the firewall, and then we've also fabricated this close-off panel to give more of a clean look to the front of the car. We've mounted the hood latch here. This piece actually will mount to the top of the hood, and that's the other part of the hood latch mechanism. This one we have Ring Brothers hinges on it, and the engine will be painted like a dark satin gray color, along with the various components in the engine bay. This is the dry sump tank for the 55 Chevy. We've TIG welded the aluminum brackets directly to the tank to eliminate these large, ugly clamps that go around the tank normally. This is that 632 cubic inch 70 Chevelle convertible project we've been working on. We've got all the door panels fitted now. These are fiberglass panels, and they'll get wrapped in leather. We've got custom armrest. The speaker hole had to be relocated due to the fact that the speaker magnets were interfering with the window mechanism. This is a thing that you always face with custom cars, is issues like that. These panels were made by someone, however, I don't think they ever figured out that, you know, when you put a speaker in there, it's right in the spot where the mechanism is. So typical of aftermarket stuff. We're also working on fitting interior panels. This stuff again will all be wrapped in leather. We've modified the rear seat base to fit the mini tub and the seat back. This car's been mini tubbed about 3.5 inches per side. And then we've got new components for the convertible top hydraulics that need to be installed. On this 52 Ford pickup, this has the Boss 302, as you can see, and our Schwartz G-Machine chassis. This is the truck that we lengthened 6 inches, and Jay here is TIG welding a mount for the gas strut that'll hold the hood open. We've got the stainless steel fuel tank in here, and it also has an internal pump for the fuel injection. We talked about these tailgate latches last month with the cable that retains it. We've also filled the end of the tailgate here, and the bed stake holes, we've filled those in as well. We'll be debuting this 52 Ford project at the Back to the 50s event in June at the State Fairgrounds, Minnesota State Fairgrounds, St. Paul, Minnesota. These cabs were made you know, kind of cheaply back in the day, and they had a bunch of spot welds holding together. So in this area here, there's a seam. We ended up welding that all together there. The spot welds inside aren't really strong enough, and you'll get flexing and, you know, start cracking the paint. So by welding that solid, it'll eliminate that. We still got a little more to do on here. As you can see, chassis production continues. We've got quite a few here waiting for parts to come in to finish them up. And then in front of me is a 72 Chevy C10 pickup chassis. We're building one of these for a customer. This particular truck is our shop truck. We pulled the body off of it and are now in the process of engineering a chassis to fit the 67 through 72 C10 pickups. What I've got here is the front bumper mount, which will get grafted into the chassis right there. And then what I've got here is the cab mount. those will basically go there, right here. Over here, Phil is starting a 71 Challenger chassis. This one's getting a 6.4 Hemi, one of the new low power performance engines. I believe that's 485 horsepower. This is the 80 Corvette we talked about last month, and I said how much I like this body style. I know nobody else does, but we finished the heart transplant on it. We're just waiting for a coolant temp sensor to come in, and then we'll be all wrapped up with it. It fires up, runs beautifully. GM Performance, great engine. A lot of people have been asking, where is the Pontiac Tempest, also known as the Temptress? And here it is. We didn't have it out a whole lot last year. We had a few little issues with it. We did have it at a couple of events last year, but it wasn't out every weekend like it had been in previous years. So we're getting it ready for the new season, and just checking everything over, and hope to be out there thrashing around pretty soon. This is the 67 Corvette. We've got the fiberglass fender flares already bonded on there and kind of roughed in. Right now we're test fitting latches, hood, and the rear convertible top cover, I guess you'd call it. This has a 427 LS7 engine, dry sump along with Schwartz chassis. Right-hand drive 70 CUDA is coming along. Mainly we've been working on interior panels right now. We've got custom-made fiberglass door panels that Jim has made, and he's now working on fitting the rear quarter panels. This 68 Charger just came in last month, and we're now into fixing things on it. A car had apparently been hit in the side, and the rear package tray had crumpled up, and that caused a lot of issues with the sheet metal that had already been replaced. So we had to undo some of the work, straighten that out, and then get those pieces back on there in the proper location. So we're on the way to getting that done right now. Typically when we mini tub a car, what we do is take a factory inner wheelhouse, we move it inward, and then we add an additional strip of material right here. So what that allows is a 345 or 14 to 15 inch wide rear tire to fit in there without any problems. And when we're done, we like to have it look much as if the factory had done it that way. So we've got a nice rounded wheel well, and it looks almost like the factory did it that way. A few people have been asking us about the Porsche 356 project with the mid-engine Audi V8 and our custom Schwartz chassis. Well, here it is, and we've had some part supplier issues lately, and as soon as we get those resolved, we'll get the thing back on track and we'll get the chassis done. That chassis I was talking about a while ago, 72 C10 pickup, well, here it is. This is the body of that. It is a step side. The first one we're building for a customer is a fleet side, which will be same short bed, but not with the fenders on the outside. So this will be our new shop truck, replacing our 49 Chevy. And as you can see from the rendering, it'll be painted dark green with gold wheels. This one's getting a 540 cubic inch big block Chevy with fuel injection and the vertical stack injectors that are kind of staggered around, and it's going to be really hot. This is the 52 Ford car that we debuted at last year's Back to the 50s event in Minnesota last June. We're making an adjustment to the weather stripping. It's not sealing real good up here on the upper doors, and this car will be featured in Street Rodder magazine in an upcoming issue, so keep your eye out for that one. This 75 Trans Am, we finished up all the things we could do with the front sheet metal off in the engine bay, and now we've got the sheet metal back on there. We'll get busy doing all the rest of the stuff so it can roll down the road under its own power. This is the 52 Chevy pickup that's getting a Schwartz chassis as well as a 530 horse LS3. and this one's been painted, and Steve here is in the process of wet sanding it and buffing it. We should be assembling this thing probably in another week or so, getting it all back together so Scott can enjoy ripping around McHenry County with it.